Hi, Quiet Liz here, and today I wanted to talk about sexuality, sexual orientation, sex. Well, okay, not the act of having sex, sexual interests. Whatever. Pick one of those. Like homosexuality, heterosexual, pansexual, bisexual, asexual, demisexual. There's a lot of them. I'm not going to go over all of them. I'm just going to go over what I have identified as. In the beginning, kind of commonplace, which is really awkward because I was a child and a minor at the time. Heterosexuality, like most people. It kind of fit. Not really. Didn't. Um, which is funny because, uh, I didn't feel like it fit, and my parents thought I was gay. They were kind of right. I wasn't straight. I'll put it that way. um, in high school, um, I found boys and girls attractive. So bisexuality was the thing. Like that made sense to me. That resonated with me. I liked both, and at that point, I was only exposed to two. I mean, you had one or the other. There was nothing in between. There was no fluidity. Um, there was no non-conformity. You picked one, and that was it. You couldn't pick other. I like that we can pick other now. Um, so at that point, sure, bisexuality, and I fell into the trope that exists of like, oh, well, you're bisexual until you find a partner, because I was also monogamous back then. Um, so, oh, well, you're with a girl, so you're straight, because again, was presenting male. Oh, you're with a boy, so you're gay. It was one or the other. You were never really bisexual unless you're single, which I think is just bullshit. Um, but it's so far. Well, I guess I shouldn't say so far because honestly, I think times are changing, and I love that. I love the fact that like it's more accepted, and the younger generations are like not just standing up, but like shunning out because of how technology has evolved and how society has evolved to be so dependent on technology that um, it's becoming easier and easier for people to explore who they are, what they want, and what they're into in that sense. Yeah. Uh, anyways, back to the topic before I don't know, I do tangents. I'm sorry. Or maybe not. I mean, it is me. Um, so for me, bisexual fit at the time, and as a part of coming out as trans, it was beginning to explore gender, identities, concepts, everything. Like, it got a lot more complicated. Was it like, do I really want to have sex with someone because I find them physically attractive? Maybe I just like them emotionally, because for me, one of the biggest things is personality. Um, I don't care what gender you are. One, you have to be a big freaking dork. And dork is such a huge term, and I know some people use it in a derogatory sense, but I don't. It is one of the requirements, let's call it, for me. Um, I like people who like puns, like cheesy jokes. I mean, I still giggle at things like rectory. That sort of stuff. I also like nerdy. And I like people who want to dress up. Just cuz. It doesn't matter why. They just want to dress up. They want to put on makeup. They want to do whatever. Like that part appeals to me. Someone who likes to have fun. None of that has anything to do with physical attributes. Um, I don't care what's in your pants. I know enough to get the gist of it, and I have come to learn that everyone is unique enough that no matter how well versed I think I am with what might be in your pants, there's something to learn. Although I haven't met someone with doom in their pants. And if you get that reference, awesome. Um, um, so that's where I began to explore things besides being bisexual, like demisexual, because I like sex. I enjoy it. I do find people physically attractive. It, in and of itself, it is not enough to get me there. But it gets me to, hey, I, I like, I like what I see. Do you have what else I want? That dorkiness, that personality, something that you geek out over or nerd out over. Do you have that too? Cool. And so it made me question a lot of things. It was like, well, okay, the asexual doesn't really work for me in that sense, and there's nothing wrong with it. Just didn't fit for me. Demisexual seemed more plausible, but as I said, the physical attraction was there. It gets me to talk to someone, and if you like wearing outfits that accentuate body parts, that works for me too. So that seemed to fit less and less. And I ended up settling with pansexual. I'm a terrible pansexual because, according to memes, I should be able to deep throat a pan. I can't. Like, they're metal. They're big. I don't even know, like, physically how you would do that. I don't understand how this became a meme other than it being a pun on pan. And that is cool. I like that. I may suck as one in that sense. Although I get phrasing there. Maybe I don't suck because I can't deep throat a pan. Anyways, I opted with pansexual because at the end of the day, while physical attraction is there and it can get me to the point of having a conversation with someone or aroused when I'm with someone because they happen to enjoy that dynamic, it isn't the majority. The personality still has to be there, but the physical aspects and attributes exist. However, they work on levels I didn't even understand. I mean, there was, the concept of like, oh, well, there's traditional male sexiness. For me, like the dad bod, a little bit of overweightness, cuddly and soft, hair in places that don't necessarily have hair. Normally because, I don't like having hair there. Boobs. They're comfy pillows. I don't know how else to put that. I mean, I'm probably gonna have to flag this video just because of the topic, but whatever. Big, small, doesn't matter. Boobs are boobs. If you call them boobs, then they're boobs. And they can be appealing. Soft skin, if that's your thing, works for me too. So there are physical aspects, but what I realized was that there were no even if I stuck with the girl box and the boy box as like my qualifiers, it didn't work. It didn't fit because, like, well, what if I met someone who really liked having shaved smooth legs because they like the way that it feels, or they like how it feels to put on a pair of cold jeans as a result of that? Whatever. I didn't care. And they could have a hairy chest. Sorry, I forgot to finish that thought. So it's kind of like, usually you don't have one over the other, but it could happen. And when I considered that notion, I realized I didn't care. So having the girl box and the boy box didn't work as qualifiers. I have physical attraction to people, which is weird in terms of like being able to quantify that in anything other than confidence on a visual level. If they're confident in whatever look they're rocking, it works. And if they happen to have that personality that appeals to me, well then, maybe we can get something going. That's not an offer. I will preface that. I get the joy of saying I'm not single, but I'm also poly. I have multiple partners. So single isn't really an apt qualifier. Just I'm not trying to like hook up with anyone or anything. Just not putting that out there. Just wanted to share how I feel about this. Um, and what I've gotten to explore as a result of having come out as trans and then redefining my sexuality. And maybe sometime it'll change, because that could happen. So, we'll see. In any case, that's all for today. I'd love to know, like, people watching, like, how do you feel about sexuality? Like, does that work for you? Like, does the definitions that we're using, does my definition, how I qualify things, does that work for you? Like, what are your thoughts? If you feel like sharing, please leave them in the comments. With that said, that'll be it for today. So, bye.